Wait, is it true? Is there actually Disneyland food you should be avoiding during your upcoming trip to the West Coast parks? The short answer, yes. But let's dive into the better answer and get to the bottom of things today here on DFP Guides. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. We are back in Disneyland today to talk about something rather shocking. The West Coast Disney parks are pretty well known for their tasty snacks and unique seasonal treats. You know, I love myself some Disneyland food, but not everything at the happiest place on earth is worth your money or your stomach space. So let's take a look at what you don't need to eat in Disneyland and what you should eat. That way you'll know what the Disneyland food hype is all about and not be subjected to all the blah stuff. Planning on going to Disneyland this year or next year or even the year after that? Make sure to download our 3 Perfect Days at Disneyland guide for free by scanning the QR code you see on the screen now or by heading over to disneyfoodblog.com/DisneylandPlans right after this. All right, we're going to start with small apps at big price points. When you order appetizers, you typically expect them to be substantial enough for each person in your group to have at least a few satisfying bites before your meal. Or you may want to treat the appetizer like a meal all by itself. So when you pay $20 plus for an appetizer, you're more than likely expecting both quantity and quality. But that's not always the case in Disneyland. Take Lamplight Lounge over in Disney California Adventure, for example. Some appetizers, like the heaping plate of lobster nachos for $23, is going to give you a lot of food for that single price point. But if you order the $21 salmon poke instead, you're not going to get a full-on poke bowl like you would at the poke shop back home. Rather, you're going to get this smaller cylinder of fresh ingredients like salmon, edamame, pineapple, cucumber, avocado, and pickled radish, which can be great if that's exactly what you're after, but isn't exactly the best shareable option out there for a larger group, and at that price point, it's pretty high. Don't be afraid to ask your server about portion sizes ahead of time, especially if you notice that appetizer you're eyeballing is being listed at $20 plus. Your server will give it to you straight and let you know how big a certain appetizer is before you order, just so you're not thrown off by what you end up actually receiving. Next is only the iconic stuff. Now don't hate me, I love the iconic Disneyland snacks, but Disneyland isn't just a place where you're going to find some of the best churros and corn dogs. They've got quite a few under the radar snacks too that deserve your love and attention just as much, if not more than the classics. And I know this is definitely a debatable topic, but let me give you some examples. If you head over to Maurice's Treats or Edelweiss Snacks in Disneyland Park right now, there's this really nice salty, savory, cheesy garlic pretzel bread stuffed with cheesy garlic spread for under $8. That's going to keep you satisfied till your next big meal and maybe after. And while you can get regular onion rings and french fries at just about every quick service, the Hungry Bear restaurant in Critter Country has loaded onion rings and fries options topped with green chili and bacon cheddar sauce. Hungry Bear is also a great place to find a seasonal funnel cake if you're looking for something sweeter. Speaking of seasonal items, it's super easy to overlook the cappuccino cart in Disney California Adventure right outside of San Francisco Square. But don't pass it by if you're on the hunt for that bread pudding. Remember that bread pudding that used to be at Pacific Wharf Cafe? Well, it's not on the menu there anymore, but you can find it over at the cappuccino cart now. Right now, the maple bacon bread pudding can be found here, made with bacon, candied pecans, maple syrup, and creme anglaise, but the flavor might be completely different during your visit, so it's always worth checking the menu out ahead of time. Now, I love this advice for Disney World and Disneyland. Don't eat at the first restaurant you see. Eating at the first place you see when you're absolutely starving isn't going to be the worst idea sometimes, especially when you're in Disneyland, because a lot of stuff in Disneyland is just de facto pretty good. But when you're just going somewhere for convenience's sake, you could wind up missing out on way better eats elsewhere. For example, if you're in Toontown, you may feel tempted to just grab something from Cafe Daisy right after your ride through on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, because it's literally right there. Now, Cafe Daisy can be a fine option for guests who want a more familiar entree with a bit of a twist, like those pizza flop-overs or the dressed-up hot dogs, but is it going to have the most adventurous options or the highest quality eats out there? No. If you walk just a few steps further to the other lands, you'll have so many better options, like the barbecue skewers from Bengal Barbecue in Adventureland, honey spiced chicken sandwich with crispy chicken lettuce and sweet and spicy spread from Hungry Bear, or the full enchilada plates, burrito sonoras, and fully loaded nachos from Rancho del Zocalo in Frontierland. And if you don't even want to walk that far, just head right outside of Toontown and go to Troubadour Tavern, where they have an incredible under-the-radar hidden gem menu that is always changing out but always delivers. I love the baked potatoes there. Now, if you're looking for more awesome places to eat inside Disneyland, be sure to check out our Best Disneyland Restaurants video next, because we've got some real winners packed into that one for you. All right, next thing we don't want you to eat in Disneyland, the same food you can get for cheaper. Ahaha, Disneyland, you cannot fool us that easily. Depending on which restaurants you make reservations for, you might quickly find out that the food option you were planning on ordering is actually cheaper at a different Disney restaurant. Let's take those famous Monte Cristo sandwiches inside Disneyland Park, for example. If you decide to order a Monte Cristo for lunch at Blue Bayou over in New Orleans Square, you're gonna drop $29 for it. Now, this price point is also gonna hook you up with potato chips and stone fruit salad and seasonal preserves and remoulade. However, if you decide to order the exact same sandwich from Cafe Orleans instead, which is just around the corner from Blue Bayou in the very same land, you're only going to have to pay $22 for it. Not only would this price tag also give you your choice of pommes frites or petite salad, but you can also choose the triple cheese Monte Cristo instead for the exact same price, featuring lots of brie and mozzarella and Swiss cheese and some of the best sandwich cheese pulls out there. Price comparing different entrees across all the different restaurants sounds exhausting, but I got a big tip for you to make it less so. When you go into the Disneyland app, tap on the little magnifying glass on the bottom of the menu. Now type in the specific food you're after, like Monte Cristo, for instance. Then press search. What you're going to find are all the different restaurants that serve what you're after on their particular menus. So in this case, I've got the 2 New Orleans Square restaurants that I just mentioned popping up on my screen. Tap on each restaurant, check out their menus, and see for yourself which options come up with the cheapest prices. Ooh, next on our list, Starbucks. You can find Starbucks pretty much everywhere, even in Disneyland. Now, I understand that sometimes the pull of the Starbucks force is too strong and you're going to gravitate toward the comfort of a Frappuccino or peach green tea lemonade simply because your body needs it. But those Starbucks locations, like the Market House in Disneyland, the Fiddler Pfeiffer and Practical Cafe in DCA, and the straight-up Starbucks storefront in downtown Disney, are going to be so packed out first thing in the morning with other rope-dropping guests who need a jolt of caffeine to get their day started. Want to track down a less busy coffee stop to get the Java flowing? Over in Fantasyland, you can get your caffeine fix at Maurice's Treats. There's hot coffee and nitro cold brew on Maurice's menu. Plus, if you'd like some breakfast donuts to go along with your coffee, you can find these here too sometimes. Back in DCA, we're returning to the cappuccino cart for espresso, specialty coffee drinks, and cold brew aplenty. And I know I already talked about the seasonal treats here earlier, but if you come around this little kiosk during breakfast hours, you'll also have the chance to order a steak and egg breakfast burrito with potatoes, Monterey Jack, and avocado chimichurri. Another place you may not realize serves up coffee in DCA is over at Schmoozie's in Hollywoodland. Along with all the shakes and smoothies, they've also got several different coffees to choose from too, including lattes, Americanos, espressos, and cold brews. Now, be sure not to eat at sit-down restaurants you're not going to be blown away by. There are tons of table service restaurants I enjoy in Disneyland: Carnation Cafe, Cafe Orleans, breakfast over at the Plaza Inn, but not every Disneyland and DCA table service location is wow-worthy, which probably isn't what you want to hear when you're seeing how incredibly steep those table service prices are. More often than not, in Disneyland, I'd much prefer to just pick up one of the more substantial Disneyland snacks or quick service meals than book an entire sit-down meal and pay a lot of money for something that could be relatively forgettable. Not only are Disneyland snacks hearty and high quality, but the price points aren't too shabby. Disney California Adventure snacks like the mac and cheese bread cone at the Cozy Cone Motel in Carsland, the massive sundaes from Ghirardelli Soda Fountain and Chocolate Shop right off San Francisco, the seasonal funnel cake fries from Award Wieners in Hollywoodland, all that ramen and bread bowls over in San Francisco Square 2, and the street corn with a side of spiced wheat chicharrones from Cocina Cucamonga. That's gonna give you a lot of bang for your buck minus the steep table service prices. And over in Disneyland Park, you can rely on giant snacky options like the chili mango Dole Whip at Tropical Hideaway in Adventureland, the 5 Blossom bread with mustard cream at Oga's Cantina, the strawberry or seasonal funnel cakes from Stage Door Cafe in Frontierland, where they also, by the way, have those incredible hand-dipped corn dogs. You can get those at Little Red Wagon too, of course, and over at Corn Dog Castle in DCA, and the Asante Sana Sambusa stuffed with curry, spiced potatoes, and mixed vegetables at Troubadour Tavern. Those are going to help you fill up without breaking the bank. And honestly, this isn't as true in Disney World, but in Disneyland, the quick services are where it's at. You really don't need to do a whole bunch of sit-down table service dining because while the food is fine, usually the quick services are going to have just as high quality, if not higher for you. Next thing to be careful of in Disneyland is eating just the safe stuff. So unless you're a picky eater or you're feeling homesick for some of those staple carnival classic snacks and entrees like the standard soft pretzels and chicken strips that you're going to find around several spots in Disneyland, you should take the opportunity to go a little bit outside your comfort zone when you're in Disneyland. Fortunately, they've got a lot of adventurous options, and these adventurous foods just might become your new favorite theme park eats of all time. In DCA, you're going to want to swing by Lucky Fortune Cookery in San Francisco for that beef birria ramen made with house-made birria, a soft-boiled egg, Monterey Jack cheese, cilantro, roasted corn, onions, and radish, because it's some of the best theme park food out there, bar none. And for food that's both unique and well-themed that you can pick up during breakfast hours, check out what Pym Test Kitchen is cooking up in the AM, because there you're going to be able to order the Cinepim Toast 2.0, which is a challah French toast topped with smoked bacon, maple syrup, and blueberry-flavored popping spheres, those bursting boba pearls. In Disneyland, do yourself a favor, skip the standard old pizza at Alien Pizza Planet, go with the pasta options instead for way more satisfying and unique entrees. Pasta dishes here include options like the charred broccolini and lemon chicken pasta, and of course that countdown chicken fusilli, which I love. And let's not forget the sourdough bread bowls you can find at Harbor Galley and Critter Country. Each of these can be filled with your choice of soup, which sometimes includes options like clam chowder and cheddar broccoli soup or mushroom, vegetable, and farro stew. Speaking of that mushroom, vegetable, and farro stew, do not eat Drab plant-based items in Disneyland. For all my friends out there who plan their meals around their plant-based diets, your menu options can feel much more limited around the Disneyland parks, but it doesn't have to, and you shouldn't have to settle for anything less than quality eats and treats. Instead of sticking strictly with the Impossible Burgers, we've got a few other ideas up our sleeves for you to try. For breakfast, Avengers Campus comes to the rescue in DCA with the unassuming Shawarma Palace kiosk. The Impossible Breakfast Shawarma is a plant-based breakfast sausage and egg omelet wrap with dairy-free American cheese and crispy potato bites served with spiced maple syrup. Unique, tasty, and priced at around $14. You don't have to be strictly on a plant-based diet to enjoy the flavorful marvel that is adorable snowman frosted treats, but it is worth pointing out that both the lemon and mango soft serve here is dairy-free, making it a safe treat for our vegan friends to order and enjoy while looking out across sparkling waters of Pixar Pier. At Docking Bay 7 and Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland, there's a Felucian kefta and hummus garden spread that's garlicky and herby and packed with fresh flavors. And while Rancho del Zocalo is most well known for their hearty meat-based entrees, they also have a plant-based cauliflower taco on their menu, topped with cabbage slaw and tomatillo sauce and then served with a side of Mexican rice and refried beans, all for around $14. If you're wanting to mobile order from one of the Disneyland quick services and you want to single out all the plant-based options on the menu, just choose your arrival window and then tap on the little leaf icon at the top of the page that you're redirected to. This will take you directly to all the plant-based options available at that restaurant, so you can decide whether or not this is a place you're going to want to order from while you're on the go. And of course, we're going to warn you against those prepackaged snacks. Look, I like a bag of potato chips or a candy bar just as much as the next person, but when you're choosing these grocery store end cap snacks inside the parks versus the unique Disneyland specific ones, you're doing yourself a disservice. Not only are these snacks going to be pretty run-of-the-mill, but they're also going to be more expensive than what you'll find at your big box stores back home or even literally down the street from the parks. If you're looking for a sweet alternative to your typical candy bar, pick up some churro toffee at Marceline Market in downtown Disney. This dessert combines the cinnamon sugar goodness of churros and the crunchy bliss of handmade Disneyland toffee to create something truly magical for your taste buds to behold. Or if you're still in the mood for a candy bar and a candy bar only, then head over and get my favorite, the celestial-sized Choco Smash candy bar from Pym Test Kitchen. These candy bars are prepackaged and made with dark chocolate, peanuts, caramel, nougat, and chocolate brownie. They are absolutely incredible. Now for something more on the salty side of things, try an order of the new Cerveceria garlic and pinwheels chip mix from Port of San Francisco Cerveceria. Or maybe pick up one of the beers on tap to wash them down while you're at it. Now back over at Cozy Cone Motel, Cozy Cone number 5 serves not just regular buttered popcorn, but specialty popcorn flavors as well, which rotate out often to give you an exciting new twist on a classic park snack. And I really don't want you to eat subpar chicken when you are in Disneyland. I am a big believer in ordering food that makes you happy, so if quick service chicken tenders make you happy, you can get them. However, I can't, in good conscience, let you order a basic chicken tender basket from someplace like Galactic Grill in Tomorrowland without telling you about the best place to get some really, really good quick service fried chicken in Disneyland. And that's the Plaza Inn off Main Street, USA. The fried chicken here is and always has been off the charts. We're talking perfect, golden brown, well-seasoned, super juicy chicken served alongside mashed potatoes and gravy, seasonal veggies, and a buttermilk biscuit. If you ever see me turn down the Plaza Inn fried chicken, know that I have been replaced by an imposter and please send help. But in all seriousness, if you're a big fried chicken connoisseur, swing by Plaza Inn sometime during your visit, please. While the chicken entree here is a little steeper for a quick service meal, around $20, you'll get 3 pieces of that chicken plus all those sides. Makes it an easy lunch or dinner option to split with someone else in your group for sure. So how is it that a video all about the things you shouldn't eat in Disneyland still somehow manages to make me hungry? Anyone else? Thanks for joining me on the West Coast today, and don't forget we got 3 perfect days in Disneyland guide just waiting for you to download, so be sure to head to disneyfoodblog.com/DisneylandPlans right now to receive your free digital copy. Thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for watching, and of course, thanks for letting me talk about some of my favorite places to eat in Disneyland. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.